What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 203. This is week 21's review. We're 1 week from the playoffs. The playoff race is razor thin as we approach the deadline here. With me this week, as always, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you feeling, man? You're coming out of week 21 now.
Yeah, I can't believe we're here. I cannot believe we're here. This has been a wild, wild ride over the last, several months. And look, this herd has thinned. It was a giant blob of guys for a good 2 to 3 months, and now we're down to what, three or four guys trying to get into one spot.
Yeah, it
It's,
looks like we're down to three guys for one spot, or maybe four guys for two spots if you count my spot not safe.
you're right, yeah, but I mean that's from just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, six or seven guys for two or three spots. So
Mhm.
it's really thinned out, and we're here. I cannot believe we're at the end here.
Yeah, it is. It is time to start congratulating people on playoff berths. We
Yep.
will be congratulating two gentlemen on buys after the current week is over, and it's going to be a hell of a field here, the final six for the championship this year. But let's dive into this thing and talk about what we got in week 21,
Yes.
starting with our first place team at time of Ben Nisman, who took on Jimmy Dunlap. Jimmy gets himself a 12-9 victory. I think this one is pretty much solidifying his seat at the table. Jimmy is going to be somewhere at and in this dance. He's not falling out of this race anytime soon. However, because Ben was capable of getting 9 here, he sits completely safe at the playoff table. He got the asterisk this Monday morning. We have got ourselves a man at the table. Ben Nisman, congratulations. You've made the playoffs. 12-9 victory for Jimmy this week. On Sunday, Ben untied walks by a hitter, but Jimmy flipped runs, batting average, on base percentage, untied home runs, untied errors by taking one, and untied wins. That is 6 changed categories in Jimmy's favor coming out of Sunday.
Crazy.
So
Just
it was
crazy.
it was a 10-7 score, Ben going in, 12-9 Jimmy coming out. Close
Uh,
categories this week. What do you got?
yeah, I'm sure Ben was probably throwing some furniture around, but like you said, he's at the table. He's in, and I don't think he's anything to feel sorry about.
No, he's had a wonderful season. He's never had less than 7 stats in a week. So he's never gotten blown out in a
Yeah.
week.
And
He's
that seven came in week one. Like so, like since week one, he has not gotten less than eight.
exactly. He went on a 10 or 12 game winning streak this season. I kept asking him. I said, even while he was sitting in first place comfortably, I kept asking him, like, how does it feel? And he goes, I just feel like this team is good against its opponents. And I'm like, that's what you do every single week. That's how you play every week. What you're
Yeah,
saying is that you've been a good manager all year. And that's
yeah,
what this boils down to. This team may not be loaded with superstars, but it is the sum of its parts that have created a really strong team and will be a really tough out in the playoffs.
yeah, yeah. We said it many times. That sometimes the manager is just as impactful as the players are,
Mm-hmm.
and Ben is one of, if not the most impactful manager we have in this league.
No doubt. No doubt. The close categories this week: Jimmy wins by a run, a double, a triple, a homer, a win, 3 walks by a pitcher, and 3 relief appearances. That is 7 close categories. That is annoying that it is a run, a double, a triple, and a homer.
Yeah, yeah, and like I think we'll get to it, but most of it was like it was just a couple of things that Ben could have done, but like it was just so close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For Ben, he's close categories. He wins by 2 steals, 2 walks by a hitter, 2 errors, a loss, and a save. They did not tie in anything. For Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes 0 for 19 with a run and 2 walks that would have tied the category and 5 strikeouts. I mean, come on now.
And the 2 walks came on Sunday.
Oh, and he had a decent start from Hurston Waldrop on the bench, a bad start from Taijuan Walker against the Mets on the bench. Like, he had himself a really good week.
He did. It was just, again, it was just a school, a class. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. 10 ads this week from Jimmy. He added Ryan Bergert off of waivers, 6-inning win. A homer, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 earned against the White Sox. Eric Wagaman 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ryan Zefferjohn for a clean relief appearance. Brady Singer, a 6-inning win with 8 strikeouts and 3 earned runs against St. Louis. Jackson Rutledge for a clean relief appearance. Ezekiel Duran an 0 for 4. Josh Smith an 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Andrew Monasterio, a 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Jeremiah Jackson, 1 for 5 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And finished it off with Cole Sands, who did not pitch. Not a whole lot on the offensive side being given in these moves. The pitching looked good.
Yeah, I saw what he was doing on Friday, because Corey Seager had an appendectomy, and so he's out for an indefinite period of time, and so he goes and picks up Duran and Josh Smith, to try and see if they can do anything as as a coverage from the Rangers, but not a whole lot there.
No, not a whole lot that day, and I don't know that I don't know Corey Seager's coming back. I mean, you have surgery this late in the season. You've only got a few weeks to come
I
back.
mean, maybe if they go on a playoff run, maybe.
Maybe. His MVP this week is going to be William Contreras. He had a 323 average with a 344 on base, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. His least valuable hitter is going to be Spencer Torkelson. I love to hear that. An 059 with a 200 on base percentage, a triple, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The triple, in fact, did win that category. It was the only one in the matchup, but otherwise, it was his only hit of the week. So
Yeah, he was pretty bad the rest of the week, and
yeah,
not a whole lot better today. So he's riding it right now.
yeah. Trevor Rogers is going to be the Cy Young this week. 7 innings, a win, a bomb, 5 strikeouts, a 129 and an 071. And the Cy Young, I mean, these guys both pitched their asses off this week. This was such a masterclass in what can be done in this league.
Absolutely.
A 2.23 ERA and a 107 whip across 65 innings. I mean, Ben pitched to a 2.51 and doesn't win. He hits a 270 with a 345 on base percentage. Can't win either of those categories. Scored 36 runs and hit 11 doubles with 13 bombs. Can't win any of those.
No. Jimmy is just, he's on fire right now. He's been on fire for the last few weeks, and he's just he's a speed locomotive that you can't stop.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be another really tough out in the playoffs this year. I can't wait to see what happens, and I love that I might be a part of it. For Ben on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 24. That is a 167 batting average with a run that would have tied the category, a homer that would have tied the category, 2 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, and an error, along with 3 relief appearances. We'll talk about them in a minute. The home run and run comes from a pinch hit walk-off home run by Will Smith on Sunday. You can't really blame the guy for that.
Not at all. And I was watching that game because I was invested because on the Diamondback side, and they had tied it up. The Diamondbacks tied it up off of Tanner Scott in the 8th, and I'm like, cool, let's keep it tied. Maybe like another at bat from Corbin Carroll or Ketel Marte, and something cool can happen for me. No, Will Smith decides that he's just going to end the game himself and just win it, for the Dodgers. But yeah, definitely no reason for Ben to start him when he's not playing. So nothing you can do there.
No, and he's trying to hang on to average and on base percentage. I know that was a lot closer going in. Jimmy had an unbelievable Sunday to put this thing to bed, but he wanted to protect strikeouts. He wanted to try to protect average and on base percentage, and just didn't happen.
Yeah.
for him because Jimmy was so formidable. For Ben's moves this week, he made 8 of them. He started with Jorge Alcala for a clean relief appearance, Matt Festa, clean relief appearance, Jose Buto, clean relief appearance, Nathan Lucas, 3 for 4 with a run and a double. He must have had that guy's personal phone number and some photos of him
Damn.
in compromising positions.
Absolutely.
Tyler Phillips, clean relief appearance and a save. Wilmer Flores, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Brock Burke, who didn't see the field, and Patrick Bailey, 0 for 3 with a run, an RBI, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The 2 walks definitely win him the category in walks. He was looking for another run or, maybe a double or a triple or a homer, something. He also
Yeah.
had Bryce Harper in the night game on Sunday. He went 0 for 3 with a walk, I think. So it just wasn't meant to be this particular week, but it was enough to get him in.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. Get in, right?
That's right. That's right. Brandon Nimmo is the MVP this week, 429 with a 469, 8 runs, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error. The least valuable hitter goes to Nacho Alvarez, 143 with a 250, a run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Shout out Joe Adell, who hit 182. Otherwise, I mean, it really wasn't all that bad.
Yeah.
He hit 270, and had 23 walks and 40 RBIs.
Right. He did what Ben does. And, like even though he didn't win the runs and the doubles and the homers and the batting average and the on base, like he was right there. And against a slightly less formidable team than Jimmy, he probably has at least 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is going to be a blowout win for Ben most weeks against guys because you don't expect somebody to hit 295 with a 363 and 14 bombs. Like it's just Jimmy had an incredible week. Ben did as well, and it was so razor thin between the two of them.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Ben's Cy Young this week is Cam Schlittler. 12 innings, a win, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts, an 0.75 and a 1. His Cy Young this week is definitely Joe Ross. It cost him the category of ERA. He did give up 3 earned runs across an inning with a walk and a strikeout in his 1 relief appearance, and that's really the difference.
But it was against the Mets, so it's all good.
Absolutely. It was definitely in the sweep. We appreciate the sweep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Congratulations again to Ben as he does get his playoff berth. Jimmy as well with this win pretty much solidifies his seat at the table, barring some sort of unbelievable blowout loss in week 22 that we don't see coming. Jimmy's going to be there.
I mean, at the end of the day, Jimmy is right behind Cody in the standings. Like, so he's not, fourth is not necessarily his final resting spot here in the standings. So it's gonna be a very interesting week coming up to see what happens.
Yeah, we have confirmed 4 dudes at the table with 2 seats yet to be filled. We'll talk about those more in a minute. But as for these 4 seats, nobody is guaranteed any of these seeds yet because it is going to get very interesting as things shake out after this week we are currently playing.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Josh Haber's matchup here and show why he is in fact sitting in the driver's seat after a 12-7 victory over Costas Paragas this week. On Sunday, Costas flipped on base percentage, but Josh untied triples with Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber hit a triple in the night game on Sunday night to tie that category. Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. 12-7 going in, 11-7 coming out. Close categories this week. Josh wins by 19 home runs.
I mean, Costas had 1.
He had 1. Josh hit 20. He texted me on Saturday. He goes, "Do you offhand know what the record for most home runs in a week is?" I said 25. 25. It was done by Bobby this year. It was week 1. So when he hit 20, he was like, "Well, it's going to take a lot, but I might be able to tie it."
But I mean, like, he only needed 2.
Yep. Yeah, he needed what, I don't know, Christian Walker put out this week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He did win by 3 ticks on the batting average, an inning and 2/3, 2 wins, 2 losses, a home run given up, and 2 strikeouts by a pitcher. Costas wins by a walk given up by a pitcher, and they tied in triples, stolen bases, and errors. For Josh on the bench this week, he goes 4 for 33. That is a 121 batting average. Very well done, sir. Very well done.
Yes.
5 runs, a double, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts, and not a bit of that plays.
Nope. Nope. Just another great bench week from Josh.
Yeah. For his moves this week, he used what looks like about 7. He started off with Dick Fitz, 4 innings, a win, a homer, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, a 6.75 and a 1.25 as a bulk reliever in Baltimore. Justin Sterner for a solo home run allowed in his relief appearance. Paul Goldschmidt, a 1 for 5 with a run and a double. Tobias Myers for a horrible relief appearance. Craig Kimbrell for a clean relief appearance. Peyton Tolley, 5 1/3, a no decision, 8 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs against Pittsburgh on the bench.
Yeah, he texted me asking me if I thought he should start because that was his major league debut going up against
Mm-hmm.
Paul Skeens in Fenway. And I was like, look, if you need it, start it, but if you don't need it, don't. And it wasn't a bad start, but it made sense to bench him.
Yeah. He finished it out with Troy Melton, who was called the secret weapon of the Detroit bullpen as he got exploded on today by the New York Mets. He had a clean
Figured out the
relief
weapon.
appearance for Josh. Yeah, we definitely took out the weapon today. Key players this week, we're going to talk about the MVP is Juan Soto, of course. 333 with a 500 on base percentage, 8 runs, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 7 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Hey, remember when he was dog shit in April?
And it's like exactly. And I was gonna say that in our little text group too. That like remember when he was struggling, I remember the game in Fenway where he just kind of like hit the ball off of the monster and it was just trotting around the bases and got thrown out or whatever. And like that seems like such a distant memory. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is the guy that we signed for $1 million, $1 billion. Like this is the guy we wanted.
Yeah.
And what he did today against the Tigers, like he is coming in clutch now.
Yeah. He homered, hit a grand slam, and a triple today.
Yeah.
He was absolutely on fire. He is carrying Josh's team to the playoffs. And shout out Kyle Schwarber, who had 4 homers and 10 RBIs this week.
Yeah, and obviously the triple that tied up the category, but I
Mm-hmm.
I I couldn't give it to Schwarber over Soto. So
No, no, not with a 214 batting average. That doesn't
yeah,
fly.
exactly.
The least valuable hitter is going to be Jose Altuve, a 190 and a 227 with a run, a homer, an RBI, and 3 strikeouts. It pretty much is one of those cases where everybody did something because when you hit 20 homers and drive in 42 runs, everybody's going to do something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if that's the worst performance of the week, and you still got a solo home run from Altuve, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Cy Young is going to be Framber Valdez, who had himself a solid week. 7 innings, a win, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.71. The Cy Young goes to Yu Darvish. 4 inning loss, 9 ERA, a 125 with a homer, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. For Costas on his bench, he goes 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts, and none of that matters. Well done, Costas.
Yeah,
Playing without a bench for the most
it,
part.
it works.
He also benched a terrible start from Eric Lauer on Wednesday, which
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah. And look, he won ERA and WHIP, so maybe he doesn't if he starts that guy.
Yeah. 5 moves from Costas this week. He starts with Cedric Mullins, 0 for 3 with a walk. Spencer Arrighetti, 6 1/3, no decision, a home run, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned against the Angels. It's a weird line with the 5 walks.
Yeah, so he's the guy, one of the guys that I got back from Mike in our last trade before the deadline,
Mm-hmm.
and I had him for a couple of starts, and that's what I was seeing. There was a lot of walks. He was walking the world. And so I finally dumped him and saw that Casas picked him up, and I was kind of hoping for something similar. And it was a decent start, but the 5 walks is ugly.
Yeah, it is. He picked up Carson Seymour, 3 inning loss, 2 bombs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 4 earned against Baltimore. He picked up Justin Sterner, who didn't see the field, and Jonah Heim 0 for 4 with a run, a walk, and a strikeout. The MVP this week goes to Yandy Diaz. Hey, we love Yandy Diaz around these parts.
We
Big
do.
fan. 421 with a 476 on base percentage, 3 runs, 3 doubles, a solo bomb, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
It's the
He's
only home
pretty.
run of the week for Casas was Yandy Diaz.
Hey, Yandy Diaz. And hey, you know what? Yandy Diaz has 22 home runs this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
You know what?
that's a good season from Yandy.
It
Well
is.
done.
It is. And a 284 with 74 RBIs, he's still rolling.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yep.
He's got 1 more year on the Rays, and then he's a free agent. So I'll be interested to see what they do with him in the offseason. They might move him.
I feel like we say that every year though.
Yeah, yeah, we were expecting it at this deadline too. Yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Shohei Ohtani of all people, 182 with a 308 on base percentage, 2 runs, an RBI, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Just an off week for Ohtani this week.
It
That
happens.
sucks.
It
Yeah.
happens to the best of us.
Mhm. His Cy Young goes to Freddie Peralta. 6 inning win with 8 strikeouts, nothing earned, 1 walk, and an 0.33 on the whip. The Cy Young goes to Carson Seymour. We talked about him. Costas has been playing spoiler the last few weeks, and we really do appreciate that. He played this one tough as well with Josh. Gets it to 12-7. So another solid week from Costas. As for Josh, again, he gets the asterisk. He's 3.5 up on Ben. His bye feels pretty safe.
Oh, I think his body is absolutely safe. He gets his brother this week, and we'll talk about it. But he's obviously fighting, to try and get that last seat at the table. So it may not be easy for Josh this week, but he's in.
He's
He's got
definitely in.
he's got the bye to me. I
He's
think.
a semifinalist this year, in your humble opinion. I tend to agree with you, sir. I think he and Ben are our semifinalists, but Ben mathematically is, and the fact that he's facing Cody this week is the real wrinkle in the fly in the ointment to this whole thing. Because I think if they were facing different people, we wouldn't be worrying about this 9-game separation between Ben and Cody right now.
Right. Yeah. And look, we saw this on the schedule. We've been watching it for weeks. This last week matchup between Ben and Cody, going, this is going to be a dandy,
Mm-hmm.
and it very well could be.
And Jimmy's the fiddle in the middle here at 15 back. I mean, he's definitely got his seat at the table reserved. He's just watching to see what happens around him, and maybe he picks up a seeding somewhere
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. Let's move on to the next matchup, and it is, in fact, Cody Pyatt taking on Chris Levy. He gets himself a solid win as well this week. It is, in fact, if my computer would load it. Come on. There we go. It's 11-9 is the final. It's a come from behind win. I remember this one distinctly being in Chris's favor all week.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, we just saw the relief appearances start to tick up, and we saw the innings start to tick up. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a comeback in Cody's favor. As for Sunday, Levy tied triples, but Cody flipped innings, strikeouts, relief appearances, and untied walks by a hitter. So it was 12-8 in Levy's favor going in, 11-9 for Cody coming out. What a great Sunday.
Yeah. Just and we'll see, but not much that Cody did. But his guys performed just as they needed to on Sunday.
Yeah, he was pretty set up with the Phillies, bullpen already being on his team and them having the Sunday night game. It was
Yeah.
really kind of set on a platter for him.
Yep.
Close categories this week. Cody wins by 4 walks, an inning and 2/3, 3 wins, and 2 relief appearances. Chris wins by 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 2 losses, and 2 home runs given up by a pitcher. and they tied in triples. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 5 for 22. That's a 227 batting average with 3 runs, an RBI, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. None of it plays. Congratulations.
Well done.
He did not make a move this week, so we wonder if he's still participating.
I think he just didn't want to break the team up. His
I can
spot, like
understand
you said,
that.
his spot in the dance is safe. The seating is still up for grabs, but he's in the dance. So, if there's nobody here for that you feel like you need to change, nothing here you need to fix, don't.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid team top to bottom. No real closer to speak of outside of Yohan Duran, but he's got a lot of the Phillies bullpen. So even if Duran is off, he's got the backups here.
Yep. And Devin Williams is still around if he falls into a save for the Yankees. So
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Ursich is a guy who could fall back for a save. So he's got some possibilities here.
Yeah, and Bubba Chandler's been doing weird shit in the bullpen as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? Uh, his MVP this week goes to Wyatt Langford, wherever he is. Stand by. We're going to find him. There he is. Utility. 300 with a 444, 7 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Nick Castellanos, who did not record a hit, had a 200 on base percentage with 2 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
He's been terrible.
He's been awful. And that's the reason Frank Bucco dropped him after trading for him.
Yeah.
And it's also the reason Ben Nisman dropped him within like a week or two.
And it's the reason why he's been in and out of the lineup for the Phillies. Like they're fighting for a playoff spot. They gotta go with a hot hand, and he does not have a hot hand.
No, he is quite bad. Max Kepler's getting starts over him.
Yeah.
Yep. The Cy Young this week goes to Jacob deGrom. 10 innings, a win, a loss, a homer, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 180 and an 080. His counterpart as the Cy Young is Noah Cameron, 5-inning loss with 2 homers and a 1080 with a 160. No strikeouts, no walks. The kid was just bad.
Yeah, he just served up a couple of homers, and that was enough.
Mm-hmm. As for Chris on his bench this week, he goes 13 for 48. That is a 271 batting average. 6 runs, 5 doubles, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 4 walks that would have tied the category, and 9 strikeouts. He would have had to be perfect to get all 4 of them in there. I'm not going to count that against him. But when you look at that kind of line, holy shit, Adolis Garcia needed to be in this lineup a whole lot more. Anthony Volpe hit a 3-run homer with Carson Williams starting at shortstop. I don't even know what Carson Williams looks like if you gave me a lineup of 2 dudes.
You know what? It was he's starting. He's a Rays guy. He's a Rays rookie, and so he's starting the Rays guys. Dallas Garcia. It took him like 2 or 3 days to even just get him off the IL. So, but he finally did, and but it took a while.
It's been a rough season for Chris this year. We've seen a lot of missed opportunities and weird moves as far as the roster construction is concerned. And
More here.
Yeah. 10 moves this week from him, and yeah, we're going to see more of it this week. Carson Williams, he does lead off picking up on Monday. 2 for 5 with a double, 2 RBIs and a strikeout. Ryan Jeffers 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Michael Lorenzen, a 5-inning no decision with 4 earned runs and 6 strikeouts against the White Sox. Martin Perez, 7-inning no decision with 5 strikeouts, nothing earned against Kansas City. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Austin Warren, who's NA eligible. Why?
Yeah, he's a depth piece for the Mets bullpen that hasn't seen the light of day for like 3 months. So I don't know. I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know either. Aaron Ashby, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, nothing earned as an opener against Arizona. Victor Caratini 0 for 4 and then placed on the IL with a concussion. We hope he gets well. Danny Jansen 1 for 4 and finished it out with Andre Palante, a 5 inning loss, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs against Cincinnati. And Carlos Narvaez 1 for 4 with a run, a double, and a strikeout. I find it interesting that he went to fill the catcher when innings were that close
Yeah.
and it, or relief appearances was that close.
Right.
He's not going to get 2 relief appearances off of the, but
Yeah.
like
So
the innings and
the
the relief
innings.
appearances.
Yeah. So instead of going with Narvaez, right, go find another reliever somewhere.
Yeah. Or not pick up Austin Warren.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of has this thing with Austin Ward and Jose Castillo. Now Castillo did get him the win eventually for us, so that was cool. But like, he's still hanging on to him back in the NA spot. I don't understand it.
Me either, man. Me either. The MVP this week goes to Rafael Devers. 478 with a 556 on base percentage, 9 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Shout out CJ Abrams. Shout out Jake Cronenworth. Shout out Adalis Garcia that he finally got into the lineup. Shout out to Aaron Judge with his 10 runs and his 320 average and 500 on base.
Yeah, he slugged this week.
No doubt.
And gosh, if the Giants had this line from Rafael Devers, when they first acquired him, maybe the NL West looks a little different.
Maybe. Especially with the Padres and the Dodgers beating up on each other and like really pacing each other in the NL West. I think it's going to be interesting next year having Chapman, Adames, and Devers all in that lineup for a full season.
For a full season. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Chris's least valuable hitter this week goes to Chandler Simpson. 111 with a 111, an RBI, 5 strikeouts, and an error. This kid is lighting the world on fire on the base pads, just not this week.
Yeah, he didn't have a single steal the entire week, and that's what he's here for.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit singles, steal second. That's the
Yeah,
plan.
yeah, but he couldn't do either of those things.
Nope. The Cy Young is Martin Perez. We talked about him. And the Cy Yuck goes to Jose Quintana. Quintana has been bad for a while now. 3 2/3, a loss, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 14.73, and a 2.45. The Brewers are kind of relying on this guy.
They need to, yeah. Woodruff just came back from the IL. He's been kind of hit or miss. Quintana is a guy that they need to be, an innings eater, and he's done that. He's gone 6 innings, for most of the season, but he just kind of just is okay. He hasn't done great.
Yeah, he is what he was for us and what he was for the Cubs and
Yeah,
what he was for the Cardinals. he just is.
the entire National League Central.
Yeah, soft tossing left-handed guy. That's what he
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Cody's in line for his seat. We just got to figure out what number it's going to be this year. I assume he's going to be the 3 or the 4, but a big win over Ben Nisman this week could put him in the 2. So it
right.
is worth noting.
Yeah, nothing is aside from Josh and Ben officially being put into the playoffs. Nothing is official, so we'll have to see how this week shakes out. But it's gonna be fun to watch for all these guys.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And I love the fact that Cody and Ben are playing each other. Ben is absolutely not enjoying Yahoo putting this matchup as his week 22 matchup. He's frustrated, he's a bit nervous, but he says that if he gets the bye this year, he is getting tipsy on Sunday. So we will see what happens this week.
That'd be fun.
All right, man. Let's talk about my win over Ari Nisman this week. It was a 12-8 victory, and it just sort of felt kind of, yeah, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, it kind of looked that way too.
Yeah, it got a little bit closer than I wanted it to be. It was a little bit ugly at points on Sunday, but I'm glad I walked away with average, and I walked away with the home runs given up category, and a couple of others that were close. I love the fact that I walked away with triples.
Yeah, Yeah, and look, you did what you needed to do. You got your way, you walked away with a win, and here you are, as probably as safe can be for a guy who doesn't have an asterisk yet.
Yeah, I feel pretty safe at this point facing Chris Levy in week 22, but there's no guarantees just yet. Everything
Right.
has to shake out.
Yeah.
On Sunday, Ari untied RBIs. He got like 7 of them. He had a really nice Sunday. Congratulations on that. But he struck out too many times, and I started backing out my hitters. I played my 3 stars and the guy playing in Colorado. I was trying to chase a home run. It didn't
It's
work out,
yeah,
but okay.
yeah.
Close categories this week. Ari wins by a steal, a win, and 3 saves. I win by 2 runs, a triple, 2 ticks on the batting average, and 3 losses. And we tied in home runs. For me on my bench this week, I go 7 for 32. It's a 219 batting average with 4 runs, a double, a homer that would have won the category, 5 RBIs, 2 steals that would have won the category, 8 walks, 9 strikeouts, which would have tied the category and lost it for me, and an error. It's Jackson Holiday. Again, we keep talking about him just not being good enough to be in the lineup.
Yep.
And at least now I'm starting to get him some playing time with Marcell Ozuna getting out of the Braves lineup and being so bad.
Yeah.
So we'll see exactly how much of that is in my lineup in weeks coming.
Yeah, look, I hope he does well for you. I had him for most of the season, and I just, I couldn't put him in the lineup because I was fighting so hard to get in, so I had to go somewhere else. But
Mhm.
I hope he turns it around for you.
I hope so too, man. And being a leadoff hitter in Baltimore, at least he should be scoring me some runs.
Yeah, but he gotta get on base first.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 10 ads this week from me. Emmett Sheehan, 7 inning win, a walk, 10 strikeouts, nothing earned against Cincinnati. Thank you very much, Emmett.
Yes.
Sir Anthony Dominguez, a clean relief appearance. Huascar Brazaban, an unclean relief appearance. Mark Leiter Jr., a clean relief appearance. Dustin May was insurance against needing the innings, but as I realized that things weren't going to go the way that I thought they were, I
Yep.
backed off of the innings and started to and drop Dustin May. He wasn't good against
No,
Pittsburgh, so
it
it was a good
worked
thing I
out
didn't.
perfectly. Yeah.
Griffin Jacks, a clean relief appearance. Brent Suter, a clean relief appearance. Ryan Helsley off of waivers, who went today and gave up 1 earned run. He looked like he was getting hit pretty hard, though.
Yeah, all the balls were hard. He didn't strike anybody out. Um,
He only got 2 outs instead
he
of
only got two
3.
outs. Yeah. They need to fix him like yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Blaze Alexander, who was on my bench and is now apparently my starting third baseman because Jonathan India just went on the IL and I'm still not getting Max Muncy back. Great.
But by the way,
Uh,
also Blaze Alexander is starting in center field today, so he is going to be kind of this utility guy now for the Diamondbacks. He's going to play all over the place.
all right. As long as he starts every day, I don't care. Like, I don't care where he's playing. He's going to be at third base for me.
Yeah, I had him for a bit. I like this kid.
Good. Good. I finished it out by picking up Spencer Beavis, who got me a 3 inning save and a relief appearance. It was meaningless, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. I almost did it. I will talk about it. I went with Tristan Beck, but I almost went with him because I saw a long relief appearance coming from one of the two of them or both of them, and I went with Tristan Beck, the wrong guy. He went with the right guy.
My MVP this week goes to Jerickson Profar, 333 with a 448 on base percentage, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Shout out Dansby Swanson, who got me 3 homers and 7 RBIs this week. He was pretty damn good in Colorado.
Yeah, the Profar. I think Frank regrets dropping him.
I don't know. I mean, he's been playing Ian Happ lately, and he does say that he hates Ian Happ now, and he's going to stay away from him after owning him 2 consecutive years and trading for him 2 consecutive years. So
Yeah,
interesting that he's off of Ian Happ. I don't know. Maybe he regrets dropping Profar in that sense, but
Ian Happ did
I'll have
homer
to
today,
ask him.
so
He homered today.
Ian Happ did.
Oh, Oh, I thought you meant Profar homer today. I was about to get really excited, but
Maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't know. Me neither. My least valuable hitter this week goes to Jonathan India, who is off the team. He hit 133 with a 188 with 2 runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Shout out to Marcelo Zuna, who's just been a mess, 143 with a 200 as well. I mean, the rest of my team has been hitting
Yeah,
just enough.
just enough.
So,
And like the Sunday, the home run on the bench was Drake Baldwin's pinch hit home run. So,
mhm.
and again, I know you were backing away from your hitters anyway, but you weren't going to start a guy who wasn't going to be starting. So I
No,
think there.
I mean, I thought about it because I was trying to back away from strikeouts because that was fairly close going in.
Mhm.
And I thought about, like, well, he can't strike out more than once if I play him. But I decided against it.
Yeah, yeah.
My Cy Young this week is Emmett Sheehan. We talked about him. The Cy Yuck goes to David Peterson, who was atrocious. It was 8 earned over 2.
Yeah. I was out with my niece and nephew watching that on my phone, and as soon as the second inning was over, I turned it off. I was like, "Yep, okay, we're done."
Yeah. And it fucked up everything. It fucked up my ERA. It fucked up my whip. And it was the reason I didn't go for innings beyond that because I'm trying to keep my ERA low enough. And Ari just threw a little bit better than me this week.
And for the Mets, this has been my concern since the trade deadline, is who are we giving the ball to game one of a playoff series?
Peterson.
Okay, but he's been a little shaky. But
Yeah, they all have.
yeah, so like
He
you're not giving
seems
it
to
to
be the
Mania.
best of them, though.
Yeah, it's just it gives me such heartburn to figure
Mhm.
out. I mean, you're not giving me to Nolan McLean. The kid's a rookie, but he's been the best pitcher. But like, I don't
He
know.
hasn't been the best pitcher. He had 3 good starts. Like
Well,
he's been
yeah,
he's been very nice, but I want to see him once through the league before I anoint him the next Jacob
look,
DeGrom.
he took down the Phillies and the Braves, so I feel pretty good
Yeah.
about
I
it.
I feel great about the 2 starts that he had. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And he's going again what, tomorrow or the day
tomorrow,
after? Yeah.
tomorrow in Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be starting him there probably. Uh As for Ari on his bench this week, he went 14 for 51. That's a 275 batting average with 7 runs that would have won the category, a double, a triple that would have tied the category, a homer that would have won the category, 4 RBIs, 10 walks that would have won the category, and 12 strikeouts. Michael Bush needed to be played more this week because Andrew Vaughn has cooled off quite considerably.
Yes, and Michael Bush was playing in Coors Field. I'm sorry, but if you have a hitter playing in Coors Field, better off starting him than not.
A leadoff hitter in that lineup
Yeah,
playing in Coors Field. Yeah,
yeah,
he needed to be played this week.
yeah.
2 moves this week from Ari. Spencer Horwitz 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout, and Ryan Jeffers 0 for 3. We appreciate the contributions and participation, Ari. The MVP this week goes to Julio Rodriguez, who is annoying. 417 with a 440 on base percentage, 5 runs, a homer, 5 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 3 strikeouts, and an error. TJ Friedel was a bit of a pest on Sunday. He had like 3 hits and 2 RBIs. It was annoying. He was real annoying.
Yeah, and he's a red, so he's very annoying.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter does go to Andrew Vaughn, 095 with a 167 on base, a run, an RBI, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error. He's been a mess for now a couple of weeks, and yeah, he should be
Yeah,
out of the lineup.
about time.
Mm-hmm. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the Cy Young this week. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run, a 129, and an 057. The Cy Young goes to Tanner Bybee. 12 and a third, 2 losses, 3 home runs, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, a 6.57 and a 1.54. These starts were not great, buddy. The Seattle start was really surprising because he was kind of cruising.
Yeah, but that's Seattle, and their offense is lethal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got blown to pieces by the Rays on the first start of the week. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not a good week from this guy.
No, not a good week at all. Well, I said in the beginning of the season that my schedule was kind of a cupcake, and that if I just sort of held around 500 by the time the playoff streak came, I should be making the playoffs. Here we are.
Here you are.
Here
Yeah.
we are.
I kind of envision like, you just kind of, sitting back watching, Lebo and Mike and Jimmy and Cody and all these guys kind of fighting for their spot. And you're just kind of like, yep,
Yep.
here.
I'm gonna beat this last place team, and then I'm gonna beat the second to last place team, and then I'm gonna get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I don't know that this team is a championship level team, but if it gets hot at the right time, I could win 3 in a row. I've done it before. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see who I get in the first round. We'll have to wait and see for that.
Yep. I can't wait to see what happens.
All right, let's talk about the matchup of the week, man. The matchup all eyes were on. And
Yes.
now we're getting into the interesting part of the show. We're talking about the guys in the race for this 6th seed. We're talking about Mike Haber versus Brian Lebo. And this might be the biggest win of Brian Lebo's career here in the Bigs since his 2020 upset of Jimmy Dunlap in the first round, getting him to the final 4. This one is a 13-6 victory over Mike Haber. What an incredible win for Lebo. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling pretty good right now. His spot isn't sealed up, obviously, so he's still got work to do. But this was an enormous, enormous win for him.
No doubt. No doubt. On Sunday, Mike untied strikeouts by a pitcher, but Lebo tied relief appearances, untied wins, and flipped the whip category. 11-7 going in, 13-6 coming out on the other side. Lebo really put the hammer down and
Yeah,
said, no, no, no. This is my seat at the table.
yeah. We're playing musical chairs. Go find a different one.
Yep. Close categories this week. Lebo wins by a double, a home run, a strikeout by a hitter, an error, a win, and 3 ticks on the whip. That's 6 close categories. Mike wins by 1 tick on the batting average, a loss, 2 home runs given up by a pitcher, and 2 strikeouts by a pitcher. That's 4 more. 10 close categories out of the 21 we play.
And
What a
all of these
ridiculous
were
year.
razor thin. Like one
Mm-hmm.
move here or there would have changed everything.
Absolutely. They tied in triples and relief appearances. For Brian on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 33. That's a 182 batting average with 4 runs, a double, an RBI, and 10 strikeouts that would have lost the category had he played them. Had he gotten the one of the 6 hits in, yeah, maybe the batting average flips too. But you know what? At this point, we're not nitpicking. You got yourself a great win there and put
Yeah,
yourself in great
yeah.
position.
I hope he's celebrating somewhere.
No doubt. 7, no, it's probably 10 ads this week from Brian this week. Johan Oviedo, 4 inning, no decision, a walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 earned run against St. Louis. Mike Talkman, the sock man, 2 for 4 with a run. Miles Michaelis, a 5 inning, no decision with 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts against Pittsburgh. Matthew Libertor, a 5 inning, no decision, 2 home runs and 4 strikeouts, a 540 and a 2 in Cincinnati. Otto Lopez, 1 for 5 with a run, a strikeout, and an error. Michael McGreevy, 6 inning win, 1 earned run against Cincinnati. Justin Verlander, a 5 inning win with 10 strikeouts and nothing earned against Baltimore.
He threw
The,
like 120 pitches in that start.
the balls on that guy to pick up Justin Verlander, who is like 2-11 on the season now.
Yeah, because that was win number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, right. He picked up Orlando Ribalta. I dare you to pick what team. Not you, Jason. I'm looking into the camera. I'm using the
Yeah,
proverbial you
you
watching
there.
at home. Yeah, you there. Tell me what team Orlando Ribalta plays for, because I don't know. But he got a clean relief appearance. Ryan Mountcastle, 2 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout, and Luis Morales for next week, whom he dropped this morning.
Yeah.
I found that kind of curious.
And he pitched well against
He
his
did.
Cardinals.
He did.
So, yeah.
I don't know. His MVP this week is going to be Jazz Chisholm. There he is. 217 with a 406 on base percentage, 7 runs, a double, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts. Jazz is a little lightning rod, and he went 25-25 this year on the Yankees very, very quietly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just kind of humming along between second and third base. He's making it work. 66 runs, 67 RBIs. The average is a little poo-poo, but you'll take that.
Yeah. No, you'll take the power speed combination you're getting out of this guy. I think it's one of the reasons Lebo is where he is right now.
Yeah.
The least valuable hitter goes to Salvador Perez. 091 with an 091, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts. Lebo did have a really nice hitting week. He hit 249. He lost that category by 1, but a 330 on base, 28 walks, 10 homers, 39 RBIs, 11 doubles. He won all of those categories. Great offensive week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he basically won all the offensive categories except for batting average, which he lost by 1 tick. So, yeah, it was a great offensive week.
Yep. Lucas Giolito is the Cy Young this week, and I feel like we've talked about him a couple of times here over the last couple of weeks, but it's good to check back in with this guy. 14 innings, 2 wins, 6 walks, 14 strikeouts, an 064 and an 093. Fun fact, he was the guy that I was talking with him about in the Camilo Duvall trade negotiations.
There you go.
He was interested.
He is this is a lesson in patience because I dropped him back in June, and he was terrible. He was giving up home runs left and right. I dropped him. Lebo picked him up a couple weeks later and has held on to him, and he is a completely different pitcher. He's been absolutely incredible for the last 2.5 months.
Go figure.
Yeah.
His Cy Yuck this week goes to Colin Ray, 4 2/3, a loss, a bomb, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1157 and a 214. Didn't hurt him too terribly, as on the pitching side, he threw to a 313 and a 124, winning both of those categories. 89 innings and 5 wins win those categories as well.
6 losses though is kind of
little ugly. Ugly.
Yeah. But again, just a solid week from Brian altogether.
No doubt. For Mike on the bench this week, he goes 3 for 8. That's a 375 batting average. A run, a walk, and a strikeout. None of it plays. He's not playing with much of a bench anymore.
No, and Sunday he had literally no bench. So makes sense.
Mm-hmm. He used all 10 moves this week. He started off with Luis Garcia, 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Nathaniel Lowe, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Austin Hayes, 1 for 3 with a walk, a strikeout, and an error. Parker Messick, 7-inning win with 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and that was against Tampa. Starling Marte, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Braxton Ashcraft, 5 2/3, no decision with 1 earned run against St. Louis. Isaac Matson, a clean relief appearance. Ian Seymour, 5-inning win, 8 strikeouts, 1 earned against Washington. And finished it out on Sunday, picking up as many starters as he could. He had 5 on Sunday going in.
Yeah.
Martin Perez, a 6-inning, no decision, 7 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs against the Yankees. That was really surprising. And then Tomoyuki Sugano, 3 1/3, a loss, 7 earned runs, an 1890 and a 330 in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That hurt. I have Sugano in a couple other leagues, and I was like, okay, yeah, he's going to be pitching in San Francisco, pitcher-friendly Oracle Park against the hapless Giants, and he just got blown up.
Yeah. His MVP this week goes to Pete Alonso, 406 with a 424, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, and 2 errors that we're not going to talk about.
No, they didn't happen.
No, doesn't matter. The least valuable hitter goes to Manny Machado, 167 with a 231, 2 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, and an error. Gross.
Yeah. He lost the error by one. So there's the one.
Yeah, but he had 6 of them. Like,
Yeah, I
you
know.
shouldn't lose by 1 when you have 6 errors.
Yeah. I mean, 2 came from Austin Hayes. Again, I don't know how an outfielder makes 2 errors in a week. Like that just seems weird to me.
Got me, man. The Cy Young is Parker Messick. We talked about him. And the Cy Young goes to Grant Taylor. I have no idea what team this guy plays for. Oh, he's a White Sox pitcher, and he gave up like 6 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning.
And took a loss.
Terrific. And took a loss over 2 relief appearances.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so bad the first time out that you had to play him the second time. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy was saving games for them. I mean, not that there were many games to save. He has like 2 or 3 saves or something like that. But
Oh,
it's the White Sox.
it's the White Sox. Yeah. Listen, these guys are in the final week of this season, and they are this close to the playoffs. Brian holds a 5-game lead over Mike Haber currently. It is going to take a bit of help from Mike, who does face his brother, who is just trying to lock up his bye, doesn't really have to play for much, and Mike is playing for his life.
Yeah. I wonder how that family dinner table is looking.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation between brothers this week. And as for Brian, he gets Frank Bucco, who we'll talk about it here in a little bit, did have his season ended this week and is, though not mathematically eliminated, for all intents and purposes, is eliminated.
Yeah.
But he's probably playing to play spoiler at this point, and he might spoil Brian's season if he beats him good enough.
We've seen Frank do it. And there's no reason to think he couldn't do it this week. He can be a heartbreaker.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's talk about the next matchup here. It's a guy that we haven't talked about. He is right in the middle of this playoff picture as well. Henry Collins also sits 5 games back of Brian Lebo for the final playoff spot. And he got himself a 12-8 victory over Mike Sherman this week. So he is still in this race. He has absolutely every reason to play this week and get himself into the playoffs if, in fact, he's capable of winning.
Against me.
Against you. So you can spoil his season, Jason. You have been tasked with that.
Yes. Henry, don't find me.
On Sunday for this matchup between Mike and Henry, Mike flipped RBIs, but Henry tied up home runs by a pitcher when Mike gave up too many. So it was 13-8 going in, 12-8 coming out for Henry. Close categories this week, he wins by a triple, 2 home runs, an error, 3 wins, and 2 losses. Sherman wins by an RBI, 2 stolen bases, 3 ticks on the on-base percentage, a save, and 2 relief appearances. And they tied in home runs given up. For Henry on his bench this week, he goes 8 for 38. That's a 211 batting average with 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 8 RBIs that would have won the category, 2 steals that would have won the category, 10 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Looks like there was a couple of spots here with a Matt Chapman home run on Tuesday that was tough to get in.
And the steal happened on Sunday. At least the second steal happened on Sunday. It was Vlad. No, I'm sorry. It was Trent Grisham. It was Trent Grisham who didn't start the game. So
pinch runner, no way you're getting that in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
10 ads this week from Henry. He started off with Mitch Keller, 6-inning win, 9 strikeouts, 3 earned against St. Louis. Kyle Teal, 3 for 4 with an RBI and a strikeout. Matt Swanson for a clean 2-inning relief appearance. Robert Stevenson for an unclean relief appearance. Matt Gage for a clean relief appearance. Enyel De Los Santos, a win in his relief appearance. Edgar Caro, 2 for 4 with a double, a walk, a strikeout, and an error. Andrew Chafin, who didn't see the field, and Daniel Lynch, who had a clean relief appearance.
Going for the White Sox catchers here, it seems like.
Yeah, that's an interesting duo to have right there, and they're young and they look like they're pretty promising.
Yeah, and actually, some of these other White Sox hitters, with another season under their belt, like the Colton Montgomery and Chase Mydroth, and like some of these guys are hitting pretty good. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next year with these guys.
Yeah, they definitely look like they could be moving in the right direction. If they move off of Luis Robert and get a group of prospects more for them,
Yeah,
yeah,
find a pitcher somewhere and be good.
yeah. Who do you think has more wins next year, the White Sox or the Rockies?
The White Sox. I don't even got to think about that one.
All right. The MVP for Henry this week is George Springer. He hit 435 with a 536 on base percentage, 10 runs, a double, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's had an unbelievable bounce back season this year.
He's hitting 300 over 115 games played, like with 24 home runs, 68 RBI. He's playing like he did with the Astros, during their heyday. Like
Yeah.
he talk about fountain of youth.
He has really figured it out this year. He's having a great season for them.
Yeah.
Bounce back player of the year. And great job, Henry, on finding him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The least valuable hitter goes to Vladimir Guerrero, his teammate, 063 with a 111 on base, 3 RBIs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Max Fried because, of course, it does. He's that damn good. Wherever the hell he is. There he is. 7 innings, a win, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 129, and an 086. He has cooled off a little bit from the first half. I mean, who thought he was going to throw to like a 1-something ERA would have been insane. But a 306 across 162 innings is really pretty damn impressive.
Oh, yeah. 154 strikeouts, 14 wins.
14
He's been everything
wins.
you want from fantasy side and for the Yankees.
Yeah. The plan B may not get them the division, but it certainly has gotten them to the playoffs. I think the Yankees are safe to make the playoffs. And if you're giving the ball to Max Fried in game 1, you could do a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. And then, I mean, you have, Rodon and Schlittler. Like, you have their rotation is solid.
Mm-hmm. For Sherman on his the Cy Young this week for Henry is JP Sears. 3 2/3, 2 homers, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 736 and a 164, and a trip to AAA. So you got traded from Sacramento to San Diego. You get this 1 start here or a pair of starts here and a trip back to El Paso.
Yep.
Cool.
Go shop at Sears.
Yeah. For Sherman on his bench this week, he goes 20 for 51. That is a 392 batting average. Holy shit. And he lost, he won on base percentage by 3 ticks. I was like, wait, if that happened.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah. He had 7 runs, 4 doubles, 2 homers that would have tied the category, 8 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, and an error. Other than those 2 homers, nothing else fucking mattered.
No, all that shit, none of it mattered.
No. And to get 2 homers off of the bench is a lot to ask for, so we're not going to even worry about it.
Yeah, it was Heliot Ramos both days. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4 ads this week for Sherman this week. He starts off with Louis Varland for a very bad relief appearance. Brendan Little for a clean relief appearance. Adrian Hauser, a 4-inning no decision, a 2.25 and a 2.25 in Washington. Chris Paddock, 3 2/3, a no decision, 2 home runs given up, a 736 and a 136 in Kansas City.
That's the Chris Paddock I was hoping for when you picked him up against me, and instead you got good Chris Paddock.
I got good Chris Paddock. The MVP this week is Cody Bellinger. 444 with a 500 on base percentage, 6 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That's another part of this plan B that the Yankees put together this year that has really paid off. 26 homers, 83 RBIs, and 11 steals. He's
Yeah,
been great.
he's been absolutely terrific. Paired with Judge and Grisham's been good. Dominguez has been good. So they just need to put it all together and be more consistent. Over a
Mhm.
short series, I think they could do that.
I wonder if Yankee fans want him to opt out so that they can re-sign him, or if, in fact, if he were to opt out, they would say, you know what, go ahead. Like, we got the best out of you we possibly could.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see what they do.
Mhm.
I don't know how you replace that, unless they have somebody coming up that, maybe can be of use, but that's hard to replace. He's having a fantastic season. He's hitting, what, 279 with 26 bombs and 83 RBIs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard to replace.
I mean, if you're going to replace him, is the answer Spencer Jones?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I
He would be
guess
the
that
guy.
is
If
the
you,
answer.
if you think he's ready, then yeah, then let him walk.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter is Colson Montgomery, a 154 with a 154, 3 runs, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and an error.
Don't be fooled though.
This
This kid, he's got 15 home runs already in 46 games played.
That is something to take notice of.
Yeah, he's homered in back-to-back days, including
Mhm.
today. And he has something ridiculous like 6 in his last 10 games or something like that. Like he, this kid's gonna hit.
Yeah, and he is hitting. He's on pace to hit like 60 this year. If
Yeah,
he were, if he played an entire at this rate.
right. He's just killing it right now.
Yeah. The Cy Young is nobody. I mean, a 594 and a 181 on the whip made Henry's life a little bit easier here. He had 31 walks and 5 losses.
Yeah, I mean, the only one who had, less than a, 3 ERA for anybody that pitched anything useful was Adrian Hauser, but like there was really nothing remarkable here.
Nothing special here. Nothing.
No.
No. Javier Assad got him a win over 6 innings, I guess. I mean, that's as
Yeah.
close. It was technically a quality start. He gave up 3 earned runs over 6, so
2 walks and a strikeout. Like, that's not good.
that's not great. The Cy Young goes to Ryan Helsley, whom has now been dropped and is on my team. Helsley had a 54 ERA in his one relief appearance. He gave up a bomb and 2 walks. So good job, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell's like, man?
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. If he's tipping pitches, why wasn't he tipping them in St. Louis?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Like,
I
why is he
really
tipping them
don't
now?
know.
What did he change?
I
Anyway,
don't know. Other than his uniform colors, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe his glove is different. I don't know. Henry, in fact, needs to beat up on you pretty bad this week if he wants to get in. He's 5 back. He needs to see Lebo get beat by Frank Bucco, and he needs to win here. I've talked to him. He's in good spirits. He doesn't know that he doesn't think this is going to happen, but he's going to make the best of it and give it his best shot.
Yeah, I think, him and Mike, they're both obviously not mathematically out of it. They're still in this fight, but like I said, it's gonna take more than just what they can do in order for this to happen. So it's a tough hill to climb, but not impossible. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make it easy for you, Henry. Sorry.
You and Frank Bucco are the guys that they're rooting for, Mike and Henry, respectively. They need to have you guys do some dirty work because they didn't get it done during the regular season, and they need some help here. And you know what? The other guy who needed help did not get any help from Bobby Russo this week. In fact, he had his season ended by Bobby Russo, unfortunately. Frank Bucco taking a 12-7 loss here. It was a valiant effort this year. He fought his ass off, but coming up just a little bit short here. He's now 5 under 500, hoping to finish off the season near or at 500. So if he were to beat Brian, that could be some motivation here.
Right, right. And look, he like you said, he fought all year long, including this matchup against Bobby. Like he was in this fight all season long. It's just, just some of the moves didn't work out, some of the decisions didn't work out, and here we are. But
Mhm.
nothing to hang your head on.
Yeah. On Sunday, Frank flipped RBIs, untied innings pitched, and tied wins, but Bobby tied stolen bases and untied triples. So it was 13-6 going in, 12-7 coming out. Close categories this week: Bobby wins by a triple, 3 homers, 3 errors, 2 losses, and 3 home runs given up by a pitcher. Frank wins by a double, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 relief appearances. They tied in steals and wins. For Bobby on his bench this week, he goes 5 for 29. That's a 172 batting average with a run, a double that would have tied the category, 3 walks that would have won the category, 2 steals that would have won the category, 9 strikeouts and an error. The one big play here was Bryson Stott, 2 stolen bases, who came in off the bench. So he was not in the starting lineup. You're not going to have him in your starting lineup. Never mind.
Yeah. I think there was another day where Stott was a thing. Adam Frazier with a double on Friday. Well, O'Neal Cruz was out of the lineup, so there was some spots here.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're not going to nitpick here because, again, you ended Frank's season with this 12-7 victory.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Exactly. 10 moves from Bobby this week. Josh Lowe, an 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ryan Nelson, 6 inning win, 3 strikeouts, 1 earned against Milwaukee. Nabil Krismat, 5 2/3, a win, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts in Milwaukee. Logan Allen, a 6 inning no decision with 5 strikeouts, a 6 and a 150 against Seattle. Zach Littell, a 7 inning no decision, 2 home runs, 4 strikeouts, a 386 and an 086 against St. Louis. Spencer Steer, 1 for 4. Johan Oviedo, 5 inning win, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs against Boston. JT Ginn, a 6 inning loss, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 5 earned runs against Texas. Nathaniel Lowe again, 2 for, oh no, that was Josh Lowe he picked up. He picked up
Get your
both brothers.
get your lows right.
Nathaniel Lowe, 2 for 4 with a run and 2 strikeouts, and Cole Henry, who did not see the field. The MVP this week for Bobby is going to be Josh Lowe. He was fantastic for him. 278 average and on base, 5 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and only 2 strikeouts. This dude's having a nice season for Tampa, despite being injured for a little bit.
Yeah, and the triple was on Sunday. That was the triple of the matchup, and what gave Bobby that stat. So, but he's been good. He's been really good. He's hitting a
Mhm.
240, but 9 home runs, 33 RBI, 16 steals over 86 games. So, yeah, I mean, a full year out of this guy, and you could be looking at 25, 25.
2030 would be pretty
Yeah,
solid, you know.
yeah, yep.
Yep. The least valuable hitter this week is, in fact, Bryson Stott. 182 with a 250 on base, a run, an RBI, and a walk. The Cy Young this week is Ryan Nelson. We talked about him. And the Cy Yuck is Danny Palencia, who unfortunately did not do well in his 3 relief appearances. He had pitched to a 13.50 ERA, a 375 whip, with 2 losses and a save over an inning and a third.
Yeah, he's been really good as their closer, but this was a rough week for him.
Yeah, I'm surprised they found this kid out of nowhere after signing or trading for Ryan Presley and signing Ryan Brazier, and
Yeah,
it ends up being this kid.
yeah, they had some other dudes, but yeah, this is the guy they're going with, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been mostly good. Just he's bound to these blowups.
Mm-hmm. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts. Congratulations, Frank. Very well done. He played without a bench every day but Saturday and Sunday, and he got offers. So good job, Frank.
Yeah,
Solid work.
they do it.
10 ads this week. He started with Gavin Sheets for a solo home run, a walk, and a strikeout. Dylan Dodd for a clean relief appearance. Jesus Sanchez, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a strikeout. Isaac Collins, 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. Rob Zastrizny, and he's back. He's back. Nobody pick him up. I hate him. Clean relief appearance. Matt Wallner, who was a waste. Brad Lord, who had a 3-inning loss with 7 earned runs against Tampa. That was ill-advised. Kyle Hart, who had a terrible relief appearance with a loss. And Mitch Keller, a 5-inning loss with 7 strikeouts and 4 runs given up, but nothing earned against Boston.
Yeah, but that's Sunday. All that was on Sunday, and that's 3 losses from the guys he picked up on Sunday.
Yeah, not a great week on the pitching side, though. I will give him credit where it's due. Each one of those hitters got him multiple counting stats here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's that Sunday. It's those 3 pitchers. He lost losses by 2, and 3 of them came from those guys on Sunday.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He got the innings, he got the strikeouts, he somehow got ERA, but lost out on some other stuff.
Yeah, thanks to errors, because Mitch Keller, none of those runs were earned. If any of those were earned, he probably
forget it. Forget it. Yeah. The MVP this week goes to Ian Happ. 400 with a 455 on base, 4 runs, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. It's interesting because he says he's done with this guy.
I mean, he's having a good year. 234 is kind of it, but 18 home runs, 63 RBI, 72 runs. He's hitting the top of the Cubs order. Like, I don't think there's a problem with him, but I get it. I've been done with guys too that just didn't work for me, so I get it.
You should be done with Alex Bregman, 074 with a 138 this week, a run and 5 strikeouts. Though he did double today.
He did. But yeah, not a good week from Bregman.
Not at all. The Cy Young goes to Jose Soriano. I didn't even know that he was hanging on to that guy like consistently.
Yeah.
A 7-inning shutout win with 8 strikeouts and 3 walks and 0.57. This guy's been good for LA.
10 wins on the Angels, 161 innings, 144 strikeouts. Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Jeff Hoffman again because Jeff Hoffman is falling apart here at the end of the season. 4 relief appearances, 2 losses and a save, 3 1/3 innings, 4 home runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 18.90 on the ERA and a 3.30 WHIP.
Actually, I wasn't sure if he was part of the meltdown today, but he was not. So
no.
But yeah, he's been a mess.
His ERA is north of 5. He does have 29 saves. He'll probably end up with 30 by season's end. Nice strikeout rate, but yikes, he has just given them up in bunches lately.
I mean, but this is really his first full season as a full-time closer. So I guess there was some things to figure out. But boy, yeah, 8 wins too out of the guy, because he's blowing things and the Blue Jays bail him out in the next inning.
Yeah, he's been very fortunate in that aspect, but he's been an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Sucks. All right, Frank holds the key to this whole thing against Brian Lebo this week. If he blows out Brian Lebo, shit gets crazy.
So no pressure, Frank.
No pressure, Frank. Hopefully you live up to expectation.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's time to talk about your matchup with Adam, the one matchup that really didn't have a whole lot to do with the playoff race.
No.
But there is an interesting race going on for who's going to make the 12 seed, which does get to play in the consolation bracket. I know you're interested in that.
That's been my playground for the last few years is the consolation bracket. So I really want to make it back in, and it's close.
Well, this week with Adam, it was a real interesting matchup with him as well. You go to a 9-9 tie because of course you do.
Yeah. The one matchup that doesn't mean a damn thing is one of the closest matchups we have.
Right. On Sunday, Adam untied strikeouts by a hitter, but you tied doubles and flipped errors, innings, and relief appearances. 13-6 going in, 9-9 coming out. Congratulations on a really great comeback here on a Sunday.
Thanks. Yeah. I was glued to all the games on Sunday. I was watching three games at the same time, hoping to see if I can find anything. Just give me. There was we'll talk about it, but there were so many close categories that I just need one thing to go the right way, and it just didn't happen. But I walked away with a 9-9 tie, so I'm okay.
Yeah. All right. Close categories this week, man. You win by a walk, an error, three wins, a walk by a pitcher, and a relief appearance. Adam wins by 3 runs, a triple, an RBI, 2 strikeouts by a hitter, and 2 home runs given up by a pitcher. You guys tied in doubles, losses, and saves. Jason, for you on your bench this week, you went 13 for 31. That is a 419 batting average with 5 runs, 2 doubles, both of which would have won you categories, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs that would have won you a category, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. What happened, man?
You know what? And this is probably not probably, this is definitely by far the worst bench week I've had all season. It was Brandon Lau. He had been struggling. He was making errors, so I sat him and on when it was Wednesday and Thursday and or Wednesday and Friday, and he was fantastic both times. Um and it was tough. It was tough. Like on Wednesday, he was on the bench with a big day. I had Miguel Vargas went 0 for 4. Colt Keith went 0 for 4. Luis Matos went 0 for 4. So then I benched Luis Matos and he went bananas on my bench on Friday. So it was just a
Oh,
lot of just wrong benchings. Hasn't happened to me much all year, so it is what it is.
I hear you. Just a bad week, and the wrong guys are in the lineup. But that's what happens here at the end when you're playing with, you want to. I was going to say when you're playing with fun guys, but that's not going to sound right. When you're playing with the guys that, when you're playing with prospects coming up from the minors, and
Yes,
you know,
yes.
you
And guys who
the
you want
fun,
to
exciting new toys to everybody's on
Yeah, and you
everyone's
want
team.
to see how they do, kind of scout them out for next year, and
Sure.
see what they can provide you. Yeah, it's hard, and but also I benched a lot of pitching, which ended up not
Mhm.
hurting me. I was afraid it would because I was benching good pitching,
Mm.
and starting bad pitching. Like I benched Alcantara on Sunday against the Mets because I started Edward Cabrera the other day before and he got blown up. So I'm like, okay, I'll bench Alcantara against the Mets, and he like practically shut us out. And Joan Tongue I benched because it was his debut, and I just didn't know how he was gonna do. So there's a lot of interesting benchings. Dak Gallen against the Dodgers, he was really good. I benched
Mhm.
him, so but it didn't really matter at the end of the day.
And still got to 72 and a third to win the category with 8 wins, dude.
That's
Like,
what it
good
was.
job.
Monday, I had like 25 innings on Monday. So the whole rest of the week, I just kind of coasted.
Gotcha. Your MVP this week, man, or no, your moves this week, we got 10 of them. Uh, Ian Seymour, a 5 inning win with 8 strikeouts and nothing earned against Cleveland. Jeremiah Jackson, 0 for 3 with a run, a walk, and a strikeout. Luis Matos, 1 for 3 with a run and a double. Stephen Okert, Dean Kramer, who was dropped and you didn't need. He was terrible anyway, so didn't
Yeah,
matter.
that was part of it. It's like I started picking up these starters, and I'm like, I have I was been throwing so many innings, so I'm like, I started dropping these guys because I didn't need them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Justin Slayton for a clean relief appearance. Gavin Sheets, 3 for 3 with 2 runs, a double, and a walk. Do you have that guy's personal phone number, or did you have to go through his agent?
I went to his agent, and I told him I'm keeping him on the lineup, so keep doing this, and he's been actually pretty good so far.
That's great. It's
Yeah,
great. I'm happy for you.
thanks.
You picked up Sir Anthony Dominguez off of waivers for a clean relief appearance. Tristan Beck for a terrible relief appearance. We talked about that one earlier.
Yep,
And Isaac Collins off of waivers, 0 for 4. The MVP this week is Corbin Carroll. He has been fantastic for you this year.
I'll take it.
321 with a 367 on base, 5 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And he leads the league in triples.
Yep. Yeah. Look, that was kind of what I was hoping for. Again, he was my first round draft pick because I was at the butt end of the draft. So take a guy who's gonna steal bases and hit triples, and it worked to some extent.
Mm-hmm. Wilson Contreras is the least valuable hitter this week, 115 with a 207, 11 strikeouts, an error, a walk. He did hit you a home run with 4 RBIs and 4 runs scored, but 115 is not going to cut it.
No, with 11 strikeouts and an error, no, that didn't work.
No, not at all. Your Cy Young, of course, is Tariq Skubal, who's been wonderful all year. He turned in another masterful performance this week, 13 2/3 with a win, a loss, 2 homers, 2 walks, 16 strikeouts, an 066 and an 095. What did he do? Give up 1 run over 2
Yeah,
home runs? Like
it
each
was two solo bombs against the Athletics on Monday was all it took, and they lost that game 8-3. But that was all that was all it took. He still pitched 6 2/3, so and struck out 12. So it was really a good day. It was just the Athletics just gave him no support.
Is he still the number 1 pitcher for you next year?
It's really a toss-up between him and Skeens, and that's how it was coming into the year, right? I still feel like he's the safest bet, especially since he's done a better team. So I probably still give him the edge, but you can make a case for Skeens.
Okay. The Cy Young is Dylan Lee, who's no longer on your team and is sitting on waivers currently. An inning and 2/3, a loss, a 1080, and a 180 across 3 relief appearances. After all this time, you finally gave up on Dylan Lee.
Yeah,
the guy
yeah.
you traded for before the season started.
Yep, traded him, got him from Frank for Eduardo Rodriguez back in spring training days, and held on to him. He's been good, but he's given up far too many home runs lately, and I thought for a minute he was gonna start getting saves when Iglesias was not doing well. Never really saw any chances there, so yeah, I'm done with him.
Okay. For Adam on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 33. That's a clean 333 with 3 runs, a double that would have won the category, a homer, 4 walks that would have won the category, and 6 strikeouts that would have lost the category. He did have an Ivan Herrera 2 for 3 with a home run on his bench, and Shea Langoliers 0 for 4 on Friday. That's just a fun duo to have and play them. Who the hell cares when you get it wrong?
I mean, I get Shea Langoliers has been I think he has at one point recently he had the most home runs in baseball since the All-Star break. Like he's been on a tear. So I get starting him.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 moves from Adam this week. He added Luis Morales, 7-inning win, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned against Detroit. Apparently, nobody wants to pick up this kid and hang on to him. Brian Baker for a clean relief appearance and a save. Mike Yastrzemski, 2 for 5 with 3 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout.
Yeah, he has his personal number too.
Apparently. He's been really good since he moved to Kansas City, though.
Yeah, he has.
Nathaniel Lowe, which was a waste, and Brett Beatty, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. The MVP this week is Ellie because he's fantastic. He had 4 runs, 2 doubles, and a triple with a stolen base.
Yep.
But Bad Ellie was the least valuable hitter with 11 strikeouts, 3 errors, and a 214 with a 214.
Yeah. So there you go. That's, again, like, would you say he's still a first rounder next year?
How many steals does he have right now?
32, 19 home runs.
I really would have expected him to push like 25, 30 homers.
Yeah. I mean, he got 19. He scored 94 runs, which is nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, but I just I don't know. What, Henry took him 4th overall. Like, that's just that doesn't sound like 4th overall numbers to me.
Yeah. I mean, 77 RBIs. He's going to push toward 100. Maybe he gets toward 25 homers. He's going to steal 35 bases. I think you were expecting 50 steals out of this guy, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, and he's got, what's he at? 22 errors so far.
That's 1 a week.
154 strikeouts.
That's 1 a week.
Yeah.
On the errors. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Cy Young this week goes to Luis Morales. We talked about him. The Cy Young is Danny Coulombe, who was a pretty highly coveted reliever at the deadline, and Texas ended up getting him. He gave up 2 home runs in a third of an inning this week, and that's not going to cut it.
Yeah. No, he hasn't been. He's been okay, I guess, but he hasn't been great. 2.52 ERA, but since coming to the Rangers, it's been just up and down.
Mhm. Jason, you control Henry's fate at this point, and I want to know what it's going to take to get you to beat Henry and knock him out of the playoffs this year.
And maybe a trip to the consolation bracket,
That would be amazing.
all in one swoop. Would be nice. I need some help from whoever Adam and Casas are facing, but I could sneak in. Yeah, look, I'm just gonna play like I always play. I'm gonna make my ads. I'm gonna, make my lineup moves, and Henry, come beat me.
Henry, I hope you make it, man. You were my dark horse. You were supposed to be the one, but I'm really rooting for Brian Lebo. He has been unbelievable this year. Who's your manager of the week, and why is it Brian Lebo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's really a debate here. I mean, you can make an argument, Josh put himself back in first place. You did what you need to do against Ari, but at the end of the day, it's Brian Lebo, quite possibly ending Mike Haber's season and cementing himself in the playoffs. So big win, huge win. Hats off to you, Brian.
No doubt, Brian. You did exactly what you needed to do. Holy shit, Michael Harris has 4 RBIs tonight.
Oh, look at him.
That's awesome. Look at him. Guys, it's been a wild season. We are down to the final week. I know last week I mentioned that Ben Nisman was going to be on with us. I'm actually cutting a full podcast with him tomorrow night. So you guys will get 2 brand new pieces of content here this week. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to have him back on the show.
Awesome.
Jason, thanks so much for being here with me, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, we're here at the end, but the fun doesn't stop, and I can't wait, to just sit back and see what unfolds in week 22 and beyond. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's time. It's time for the playoffs, and it's time to figure out who's going to sit down at the table for 2025. Guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.